Good evening, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us for our Fall 2021 volunteer orientation. We really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules to come and be a part of our orientation. So we are recording this orientation. So if you are uncomfortable with being recorded, we do understand. You are more than welcome to exit the orientation and we can send you the recording once orientation is done. I ask that if you have any questions that aren't clarifying questions, if you could please just hold them until the end and I will get to all of your questions. So we are going to get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. If at any point you cannot see my screen, please let me know. So we are going to start with who our presenters are. And my name is Jessica Davidson, and I am the Youth Education and Care Coordinator here at REP. I have been at REP for the past 6 years. I've started out in our elementary program, and I am now a part of our middle and high school program, which is very exciting. I get to learn from our older students, and they get to learn from me as well. We would love for you to share about yourselves as well. So if you just want to drop a, little information in the chat, go for it. And we are so very happy that you decided to come and join us on this evening. So we're going to keep going with our presentation. So this is our agenda. We will do a brief overview of REP. We will go through our volunteer programs, how we've responded to COVID-19. We will explore your roles as volunteers, and we will have an open discussion time. So who is REP? REP was started by a Sudanese refugee. Her name is Ruth Lomo. That's Miss Ruth right up here in the corner. That's Mama Ruth. It was started by a Sudanese refugee about 19 years ago. She came into this country with her 5 children and her sister's 5 children. And upon arriving in this country, she does what any mother would do, and that's put her children into school, where her children began to progress because they were getting support from the school that they were in. They had volunteer support coming in to help tutor the children and help them with their homework. So their children were picking up on the language and they were picking up on things in the classroom much faster than other children that were in the refugee community. So Mama Ruth decided to start an after school program in her home to give back to her community. So she started out with about 15 children in her home, and that has grown to well over 300 plus children ranging from grades pre-K through 5th grade. Our mission at REP is to empower refugees and immigrants in the Memphis area, in Memphis, Tennessee, by offering high quality, tailored programming that encourages, educates, and equips individuals, families, and the community. We walk alongside our new neighbors as they integrate into American culture and work to achieve their personal and professional goals. Our vision is a united, prosperous, and well-acclaimed newcomer community who have achieved self-actualization in creating new homes away from home in Memphis, Tennessee. Our ultimate goal is to be run by and for refugees and immigrants themselves. The history of REP, we began in 2002 as a small refugee and volunteer-led effort serving 12 children. In 2007, we joined Memphis Leadership Foundation as an operational ministry. In 2019, REP became an independent nonprofit organization with a staff of 10 serving over 500 refugees and immigrants of all ages and backgrounds. So we have a short video that we would like to show. Let me see, it's going to start. So I'm going to have to reshare my screen so that everyone is able to see. So I hope everyone is able to see this video and can hear it as well. Let me see. Oh, wait, you won't be able to hear.
All those kind of challenges. I saw a need in the
We're
refugee.
gonna start over. Okay.
When we came here, all this is new to us. We don't really know the use of the refrigerator. We didn't know how to start a stove.
And that's
All
Mama
those
Ruth.
kind of challenges. I saw a need in the refugee community and also in my own family. I decided to start after school program because my children were behind in education, and when they came here, they were placed in grade according to their age, not skill level. And there was this challenge of helping them with their homework. We came from where we don't have, and then now we came here with a lot that most of us do not know where to ask and how to ask and what we need to look for. I didn't believe that kids who have seen came here when they're 15 years old and they started learning the alphabet and they cannot even write their names, now speaking English fluently and also able to do their own homework. The life we went through as refugees, being displaced from one country to another because of the wars, and even displaced in your own country. We hope that the life we went through, born in war, raised in war, we hope our children can get a better life than us.
It was difficult for me. Someday, God was sent to me, Meredith. She was come to my house with her parents.
When we walked in the front door, the only English that their family spoke was welcome and God bless you. Well, the first couple of years of meeting their family was a lot of survival skills. So it was a lot of learning how to do things and navigating the city and learning to live in America.
She was come to help me for everything. I was not know how to go to shopping, and I was not how to go to see my doctor.
Their resilience and their strength is beautiful to me, and it inspires me. I would not be who I am without this experience. Meeting them 7 years ago is one of the most impactful things for me, and just learning, just expanding my idea of love and loving across cultures. She gives so much to me, and her love and her care for me makes a big difference in my life.
Try to find a better place. We try to find a better place for opportunities for ourselves, and that's how we applied for a visa to the United States. And I came on staff in 2009, and since then I have been the community outreach specialist for refugee empowerment program. We offer after-school program for the refugee students. We also offer English as a second language in 3 levels for the adults. Most refugees who come to this country come with sometimes little or no education at all. The hope of a parent, any refugee parent who come to this country, is a better education for the children. So we come and become the support for that family. The successes we have seen in our program is how many children are going to college. And we have over 22 students who are going to graduate, and among those, those 22 have at least 18. We know for sure they're going to college, and we know they're going to be able to make it in college.
Okay. We are going to go back to our presentation. Here we go. Okay, and that was a little bit about REP. So who are refugees? Refugees are those who face persecution due to race, religion, nationality, social group, or political opinion. It's someone outside of his or her native country who cannot return safely. 99% of refugees eventually return or integrate into their host communities. Less than 1% are allowed to resettle in a third country, such as the United States. For any additional information, you can see the UNHCR. So how do refugees arrive in Memphis? This is a question that we get a lot. We really, really get this question a lot. A lot of people want to know, well, how are you connected with the refugee community? How do they get here? What happens? What goes on? So this is the journey. This is pretty much a journey map, so to speak. So on the first, at the beginning, you see a group of people. They are fleeing the country of origin to a relatively safe neighborhood, country, or refugee camp. Many of the refugees who do flee, they are able to make it to a refugee camp in a neighboring city or town or somewhere else safely. While in this refugee camp, they apply for a visa to be able to move from where they are to a host country such as the United States. The United States is one of about 7 countries, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, that they can resettle to. And so they apply, then they wait. You have to wait for your application to be processed, and that application process can take anywhere from 5 to 20 years. It's a long process. It takes a while. There are a lot of steps that have to be taken, a lot of steps that have to be taken, a lot of things that they're looking over to ensure that you qualify. So pretty much you have to qualify to be able to be resettled to another country. So once your application, during the waiting process, your family will undergo an interview. So the interview process is a 2-step process. You're called in for your interview, and then you're told, okay, now you have to wait to be called back for a second interview. You wait, you get called back for your second interview. And when you go in for that second interview, you literally have to have remembered everything you said from that first interview in your second interview. If anything that you say outside of your second interview that does not match in your first, you could potentially be sent back to applying all over again, because they will look at it as a discrepancy, as to say, oh, why didn't you say this at first? It's a lot. It really is a lot that refugees and immigrants go through just to get resettled when they are in dire, harsh conditions, and they're really fleeing for their lives and want better for their families. So once the application is processed, whether it's processed or denied, all applicants have to go through a medical exam. And during this medical exam, you're pretty much blood tested and given shots and medicine and different things like that. But it's pretty much to make sure that everyone that you're bringing with you, if you say they're your family, that you actually are a family. So they're making sure that you're not, lying to bring other people in who aren't related to you, who may want to do whatever when they get to their new country. But you go through your medical process. After that, your referrals are approved for resettlement. You receive your cultural orientation, where you're pretty much set in front of a TV or a computer screen, and you're learning about whatever country it is that you're going to, whether it's America, Europe, England, wherever it may be. You're sitting in front of this computer screen learning about the culture and the climate and the language of their country. And then you're pretty much put on a plane with your things and all of your travel documents, and you're sent to where you will be resettled. Once you arrive I know here in Memphis, once you arrive into the airport, someone greets you and meets you at the airport, and you're pretty much taken to the resettlement organization. And here in Memphis, it is World Relief. You're pretty much taken to the resettlement organization, and you're given additional documentation to fill out. You're given housing. You're taken to your home, and they pretty much support you for the next 3 to 6 months, depending on the size of your family. So now it's, how do refugees get to REP? Once World Relief has pretty much, and I don't want to say cut off, but stop services, because they do have a time frame in which they can offer services. And like I said, depending on the size of your family, depends on how long your services will be, whether it would be 3 months or up to 6 months. Once that ends, many refugees come to REP, and a lot of them find out about REP through word of mouth. because the immigrant and refugee community is so large, and many do know about REP, and they've gone through REP or they're at REP, and they love, you know, what we're doing and what we're trying to do within the community to help not only young people but the family as a whole. And so they come and we begin to help them with different services as well. So that is how they arrive in Memphis. So what are our values? What are REP's values? What do we value the most? We are community-centered leadership. We believe wholeheartedly in community. We really, really do. We believe that empowerment equals education plus encouragement plus opportunity. What is the positive youth development approach? It's positive experiences plus positive relationships plus positive environments. It equals positive youth development. We believe in community. We believe in positivity. We believe in empowering others to be the best, the very best of themselves that they can be. REP's mantra: a leader is best when people barely know that she exists. Not so good when people obey and acclaim her. Worse when they despise her. You fail to honor people, they fail to honor you. But of a good leader who talks little when her work is done, her aims fulfilled, they will say, "We did this ourselves." Lao Tzu. So who does REP serve? We serve all all interested refugees and immigrants in the area. And when I say area, I do mean the Memphis area. We serve anyone and everyone who is an immigrant or refugee who wants to receive services, who needs support and needs services. If they walk through our doors and they say they need anything from help with getting to the doctor or translation services, they need help finding new housing, they need help registering their children, we will do everything that we can to help and support them no matter what part of the city they live in. We have 17 plus nationalities represented. When you come into our space, if you come into our star space, up on our heating air rafts, our air ducts, we have our flags of all of the countries that are represented here at REP. So we have 17 plus nationalities represented. That's a whole lot of languages. Currently, the top 3 are the Democratic Republic of Congo, Rwanda, and Somalia. The majority of those we serve are youth under the age of 18. So again, like I said, our young people, when Mama Ruth started this, she started out with after school program. We've grown over 200 plus young people. That's ranging from pre-K through 12th grade. So we have a lot of young people. So thinking cross-culturally. So let's look at this for one moment. Immigrant and refugee youth are projected to account for 1/3 of U.S. children by 2050. This is from the Future of Children, published in 2011. What is cultural competency? Cultural competency is a set of skills and values of various cultures and ethnic groups you may come in contact with Okay, so we're going to having technical difficulties. I am so sorry. We're going to go back to our presentation. Okay, this is where we're thinking cross-culturally. So what is cultural competency? Cultural competency is a set of skills and values of various cultures and ethnic groups you may come in contact with. It's understanding the complex needs of people. The inspiration, the more I learn, the more I realize how much I don't know. It can easily become a memorized list of stereotypes. So if we look at our iceberg, you know anything about icebergs, icebergs to me are very, very mysterious. They're very, very beautiful. They really are beautiful, but they can also be very, very dangerous. Only because you only see what's on the surface level. You don't know how wide or how deep the iceberg is underneath that water. So looking at your surface with people, You just see what's on the outside. You just see what people allow you to see. So those are your behaviors and your practices. Those are characteristics which are apparent to the casual observer. So just someone watching you on an everyday basis can make a generalization about you based off of what they can just see, which is that top layer of that iceberg. But underneath that layer are the things that people don't show. They are those biases and stereotypes that they may have about others that they do not show because they don't want others to know. So that's how it can become a list of memorized stereotypes, because you don't realize that you're harboring these thoughts and these feelings within you because it's deep within. So those are your attitudes and your core values that no one sees. So when you think cross-culturally, you have to think about other people, think about how this would make you feel if you were in their shoes. What would it be like for you? You have to really, really consider others, not only their feelings, but you have to consider what they're going through, what they've gone through, because everyone's life looks different. There are people a lot of our families have gone through things, especially our children. Our children is, they've gone through things that I could never, ever fathom to have gone through. But at the same time, I don't judge or put them in a box for that. And that's what we don't want you all to come into this space and do. We don't want you to, stereotype or have biases. And we understand that people come with those anyway. But all we ask is that you just, you do some self-reflection on you. Understand what your biases or your stereotypes may be, and go from there. Once you know what they are, then you can, you'll better be able to serve those around you, not only at REP, but as a whole, out in the real world, as you're going about your day. So REP's programs at a glance. So our K-12 programming is STARS Elementary, Dream Keepers High, Rise Middle, and REP Entrepreneurs. Other programming, cultural navigation and integration support, adult education with nursery, and advocacy. So our adult education program is actually called Phoenix Paths. Our adult education is an adult ESOL and enrichment programming, including survival English, literacy, and citizenship preparedness. Our adult English class is called ESOL because it's English second or other language. We know and understand that our parents do not come into this country speaking one language. English is not their first language. It may not even be their second or their third language. Many of our adults speak anywhere from 3 to 5 languages, maybe even more. So we know English is not the top language. So it's English second or other language. It is for any refugee and immigrant adult, age 18 and over. Age does not matter at all. They meet at 258 North Merton, Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. and 5:30 until 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Why have a program like the Phoenix Pact? Parents request the educational support for themselves so that they can acclimate to American life, advocate for themselves and their children, and secure sustainable employment. All of our programming that we have is need-based. The community pretty much tells us what they need or what they want, and we try to do our very, very best to make it happen to the best of our ability. That's why volunteers, just like you all, are so important. So adult education in this fall. Mondays and Wednesdays, they will have 3 levels of beginner English. The levels are level 1, level 1.5, and 2. They will have these classes both in the morning and in the evenings. Again, the times are 10 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. for mornings and 5:30 until 7 a.m. in the evenings. Tuesdays, they will be doing a combined literacy. It's a single combined class in the morning and evening to jumpstart and enhance reading skills. Many of the parents have let the coordinator, Trevor, they've let him know that, they want to begin to either learn how to read or to become better readers in the English language. And so he was like, hey, let's do a literacy class. So the adults will begin learning how to read and to become better readers with their combined literacy class on Tuesdays. Thursday is citizenship support. Citizenship classes are only on Thursday evenings. They're not on Thursday mornings. So Thursday evenings from 5:30 to 7 is the citizenship class. And it's the intro to naturalization. That's in the morning. And then in the evening, it's citizenship readiness classes. So it's a 2-part class that they do on Thursdays to pretty much help a lot of our parents learn about the citizenship test and prepare them to take the test, because the test is not easy. The test is 100 questions. Well, no, let me say this. The test is not 100 questions. The test has 100 questions, but you don't have to know all 100 questions, but there is a lot for that you have to learn in order to pass the citizenship test. So it's not easy at all. So I commend our adults for striving to take this very, very difficult test. Class schedule may increase depending on student demand and instructor availability. We are prepared to study virtually if in-person classes cannot be held. If anything happens in between now and whenever to where we have to go back to virtual due to COVID and the Delta variant, our ESO, our adult English students as well as instructors are ready to go back virtually. They actually did virtual over the past year. They went back into the classroom this summer, last fall and spring, they were virtual, and classes went very, very well. Parents seem to adapt pretty well once they learned technology and got used to it. Classes went very, very well, but they are prepared to go back virtually if need be. So if ESOL is a passion of yours and it's a program that you would like to participate in, they would love to have you. After school programming snapshot. So what does the after school programming do? It offers academic support such as homework help and tutoring interventions, ACT prep and college readiness. Enrichment support is trauma-based and therapeutic interventions, recreation, music club, art to grow, mentorship. RP follows the Shelby County Schools holiday and weather closure calendar and decisions. So anytime SDS closes, for whatever reason, I know mostly we have school closings in the winter due to inclement weather. If they do close, REP is closed. We will let you know when REP is closed. You will never be left out in the dark. But if you do have access to the SDS calendar, or you hear something on the radio or whatever it may be that Shelby County Schools is closing, just know REP will be closed, but we will still let you know and communicate with you about any closings that we may encounter. So let's look at our programs for our after school program. First is STARS Elementary. STARS is an acronym. It stands for Successful Tutoring Achieves Reading Scores. And what is it? Well, it's an after school enrichment program offering homework help, literacy, math skills, and SEL in a nurturing and inclusive environment. SEL is social emotional learning. Who is it for? It's for refugee and immigrant students in grades K through 5. Really, it's pre-K through 5 because we do have some pre-K students now, and it's very, very exciting to see the little ones in school. Where do they meet? They meet at 258 North Merton in our bottom, and we're in the lower level of the building. Our ESOL classes, I know you heard me say that they meet at 258 North Merton as well. They're actually on the 3rd floor. I'm actually in an ESOL classroom now. When do they meet? Monday through Thursday from 3 until 7 p.m. Why have a program like STARS? Because we believe that students do their best when we give them our best. Literacy mentorship. So literacy mentorship is a mentorship program that helps build relationships, develop literacy skills, and enhance social and emotional competencies. Who is it for? It's for refugee and immigrant students in grades K through 5. So this is a program that falls under the umbrella of our STARS program. It's where they meet 258 North Merton, Monday through Thursdays from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. It is for a commitment of 1+ hours per week. So You can decide to do an hour every week or 2 hours every week. That's however you and the coordinator decide to work that out. And why have a literacy mentorship program? Because we believe that students thrive with the support of caring and committed mentors. Rise, Middle, and Dream Keepers High. So what are these two programs? So they're both an after-school enrichment program offering homework help, literacy, math skills, and mentorship in a nurturing and inclusive environment. It is for refugee and immigrant students in grades 6 through 12. We meet at 4060 Park Avenue, Memphis, Tennessee, 38111. We are in Audubon Baptist Church. When do we meet? Monday through Thursday from 3 until 7 p.m. Why have a middle and high school program such as Rise and Dream Keepers? Because we believe that students thrive when adults strive to meet them where they are. Our middle school students are just like any middle and high school students, just like any other children. And with preteens and teenagers, you have to meet them right where they are. There's no gray area. You meet them where they are and everyone can get their needs met. So our Entrepreneurs program is actually one of our newest programs that started last October, and it is an amazing program. So what is the Entrepreneurs program? It is an after-school enrichment program with a focus on learning academic, social, emotional, life, and career skills through a focus on entrepreneurship. It is for students in grades 6 through 12. Right now, the location is to be determined, but currently they are meeting with us at 4060 Park Avenue. So we are all in the same building for right now. They meet Monday through Friday from 3 until 7. And why have a program like Entrepreneurs? Because we believe that students need diverse learning modules, multiple career path options, and choices about how they spend their after school time. So our Entrepreneurs program is very, very, very important, as all of our programs are, but with what makes our Entrepreneurs program so special is because we understand that goes back to our striving to meet students where they are. Our students come into this country and they're placed in grades based upon age and not skill set. So a program like Entrepreneurs helps give our students more options on secondary education. We know and understand everyone, college is not for everyone. That's the reality of any student and any child. College is not for everyone. All of our students do not strive to go to college. They don't have those goals and aspirations. Some of them do want to own their own businesses and work for themselves. So a program like Entrepreneurs sets them up and helps them to navigate those different pathways. Okay, you want to own your own business. These are the steps that we have to take in order to own your own business. Okay, you want to go to a 4-year college. Let's create a plan on what that looks like. You don't want to go to a 4-year college. You'd rather go to a 2-year. Okay, that's fine as well. Let's look at those pathways. You want to do a trade. You want to, whatever it may be, let's sit down. Let's create a plan. Let's create some goals. Let's create some action steps, and let's go from there. But it's meeting them where they are and making sure that their needs are met, that whatever they need after post high school, we can help them make sure that their goal is met. So once you graduate high school, we don't just leave you out in the dark. We continue to help. But we make sure that from the 6th grade until the 12th grade, you've gotten everything you needed. So once you graduate from high school, you are able to go on and be successful. And if you still need support, you know that you can always come back to REP and get the support that you need. So our nursery program. So our nursery for our little babies is a nurturing care for infants and toddlers whose parents attend Phoenix Pack programming. It's for infants and toddlers of Phoenix Pack programming. They are at 258 North Mercer on the 2nd floor in our nursery. And it's from Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. And also again from 5:30 until 7. It's so that parents are more engaged in their own learning when they have reliable, safe, and nurturing care for their young children. The nursery program, again, is a need that we saw needed to be met by our parents. We know that moms are primary caregivers, and many of our moms would have to bring their little ones to class with them. Well, it can be a distraction trying to take care of a toddler or an infant, and you're trying to learn English. So we opened up the nursery and decided, okay, we will watch your children for you while you're in class so you can focus. We want you to be able to focus just like if your child is in school, they're able to focus while they are there. We want you to be able to focus and get what you need to be able to continue to acclimate and take care of your family. So we watch the little ones for them while they are in class. And once class is over, they are able to go home with mom and dad or auntie, uncle, grandma, whoever it may be that has the children for their day. We will watch them for them while they're in class so they have no worries about what is going on with their child, who's watching their child, or what is going on. They can sit and focus on learning English. So our COVID-19 health and safety protocols, I know you all see me sitting here without my mask on. My mask is actually right here. I am in a room. No one is in the room with me at all. And I'm going to disinfect, wipe down, and spray before I leave. But our protocol is mandatory masking. All mouths and nose are covered at all times while indoors. No exceptions. The only exception for me is, again, I'm in a room by myself. We are doing small groups and physical distancing with a minimum of 3 feet. Our cultural brokers are in the community supporting accurate information. So they're letting families know what the CDC protocols are, giving health precautions, testing, and vaccinations. REP is working with UT Health Science Center to maintain updated pandemic guidelines. So as you can see, our little display of the proper way to wear your mask and the proper way not to wear your mask. So masks should cover, I have on glasses, your nose and your chin, tucked neatly behind your ears, however that works for you, or the overhead, not like this, not here, but covering fully over your nose and your mouth. So expectations of volunteers and youth. Be consistent. Be consistent. Consistency is key. If you commit to coming to REP twice a week, let's say Monday and Wednesdays, make sure you're here on Monday and Wednesdays. If you have to miss a day, please communicate with the coordinator you are working with and let them know. Communicate with Sara because she's going to communicate with you. Let her know if you need to miss a day, change a time, whatever it may be. Let us know, but be consistent. If you miss a day and you come back, students they're going to notice because they're going to get used to you being here. So make sure you're being consistent because we're encouraging our students to be consistent as well because just like we want you all to be consistent, to be considerate of your time that you spend with them. We also want them to be consistent, to be considerate of your time as well, because you can be doing anything else. So we're asking both volunteers and students to please be consistent, be engaged, whatever that engagement looks like for you, because everyone engages differently. Some people are very animated, very spunky. Whatever that engagement may look like, just engage with that student. Find something, find a common ground, and just work with that. Engage with them. Engage in a conversation, a game, a book, whatever it may be. Just make sure that you're being engaged with that student or students. Be a learner and a teacher. Be willing to pour into the students, but also be willing to have them pour back into you. Don't be afraid to say that you don't know and have them show you. I've learned so much during this pandemic from them with technology, things that I thought I knew that I really did not know. They showed me how to do, and vice versa. It was a learning experience for us all. So we learned and taught each other so much stuff. But be willing to be a learner and be willing to be a teacher. Nurture self-sufficiency. Many of our students, especially our younger students, they will and I say younger, I mean our pre-K, kindergarten, and first graders mostly. They will attempt to do something on their own that they're doing for the very first time. Allow them to do it. Let them mess up. Mistakes are part of life. If it's not something that's overly over the top, let them mess up and then show them how to do it the proper way. but allow and nurture their self-sufficiency of them wanting to do it for themselves. Be patient, be flexible, and be reflective. That's self-explanatory. Communicate with staff. Let us know what your needs are. If you need to step away and check your phone, or if you need to step away because you need a moment for whatever reason, we just ask that you just communicate with us. If you're going out of town, and you may have to miss a few times coming in, or like I said, if you need to change your schedule or change your times, communicate with us and let us know this so that we can make sure that we are adjusting your schedule to fit you. We never want to tell you when you have to come in or how many times you have to come in. Your schedule is based off of what you can do, because we understand that many of you are college students and you have other things and obligations that you have to adhere to. So we understand that, and we also understand that life happens. So if you have an emergency, let us know. Again, we're all human. Things happen, but we just ask that you just communicate with us and don't leave us in the dark. Do not exchange contact information with the children. Do not exchange contact information at all. It is okay to exchange contact information with the coordinators so that you can communicate with them, with staff, but do not exchange contact with the students at all. Do not allow them to give you their contact information. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, none of that. Don't exchange contact information at all. That is a huge no-no. No. Don't do that at all. Try not to show favoritism. I say try. It says do not, but I always say try, because it is very, very hard, especially with our elementary students, because they are so cute and so lovable. You know that you don't want to show favoritism at all, because they will pick up on it, they will notice it, and they will call you out on it. So don't show favoritism at all. Do not give gifts, none of any kind. Don't give gifts. Don't promise them you're going to bring them anything, nothing whatsoever. Our policy at REP is, if you cannot buy for all, do not buy for one. If you have something that you would like to bring for the students and you are buying it in an abundance, it must be approved by Ms. Cam before you can bring it into this space. So do not give gifts, do not bring anything, do not promise them anything at all. Do not advance personal agendas. And excuse yourself before checking or using your phone. We actually ask that volunteers, if you come in, we will never tell you not to bring your phone, but we ask that your phone is on vibrate or on silent. If you do need to use your phone for whatever reason, just excuse yourself to use your phone. If you're having downtime, don't play on, we don't want you playing or, scrolling through social media on your phone, because again, students will see this. Use this as an opportunity if you have downtime to engage with the students, or engage with the students, or engage with staff or other volunteers. But we just ask that you don't, you're not on your phone excessively when you are engaging with the young people. So tips for effective tutoring: be patient and positive. Find multiple ways to convey the same idea. I use this example all the time of Common Core math. If you can figure out a way to make it make sense for both you and the student, go for it. Go for it. It doesn't make sense to me. It's never made sense to me. It never will make sense to me. Math, period, does not make sense to me, but Common Core is the absolute worst. So if you know how to do it and you can figure it out, hey, go for it. We're all for it. We will never tell you not to try something. Get to know the students, because I promise you, they are going to work overtime to get to know you. Get to know them. They are wonderful young people with lots of personality. So get to know them. Ask for help when you need it. Never sit and struggle. And never, ever, ever. We have many resources that can be utilized to help you with whatever you may be working on with the student, whether it's homework or a project, whatever it may be. But make sure that you ask for help. Don't struggle. We don't want you to struggle, because that's not why you're here. You're not here to struggle. You're here to help. So let us help you if you need help. Embrace silence as thinking time. This is especially true with our middle and high school students. Many times you can be working on something and you've explained it to them and they're really not responding back to you. It's not that they're ignoring you. It's not that they didn't hear you. It's just that they're thinking. They're processing what was said. They're trying to make understand it for themselves. And then they may come back and ask a question. So just use that time. Just, just chalk it up to them thinking. They're not ignoring you. You'll know if they're ignoring you, but usually when we're working on homework, they're thinking, their wheels are turning, they're trying to, really, really process what's being said and what's being conveyed to them. Remember, the English language is a difficult one. I've been speaking English all of my life, and I probably learn something new every day about this language. I have a degree in English, and it is it is a hard language. Oh, I commend these students for learning English, for working so hard to learn English and doing their very, very best, because it is not easy at all. You have 26 letters. Each letter makes multiple sounds, and when you put them together, they make different sounds. It's a lot. It is a lot. So just remember that it is difficult, and there may be some things that you may be conveying to them that does not translate in their language, so they don't understand what you are saying, and you may have to again go back and find a different way to convey what you're trying to say to them. So that all goes into asking for help and being a learner, and and just being flexible, being patient, and just continuing to talk. Just talk, because eventually if you keep talking to them, you both will get on the same page and everything will work out just fine. So now it's open discussion time. So if anyone has anything they would like to discuss, now is the time for us to discuss it. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the last screen. Thank you so much. I'm not done yet, but thank you so much for again taking time out of your busy schedule and joining us for our volunteer orientation. I hope something was said today, or you heard or learned something new from me. I really, really hope that you enjoy your volunteer experience here at REP. We value volunteers so very much, because without you all, we are unable to do the things that we need to get done with our young people. Our young people appreciate you all so much for taking time out of your schedules. So we thank you so very, very much for choosing REP to volunteer. And that is actually the end of our presentation for today. So if anyone has any questions, any comments, any concerns, anything at all, now is your time. Yeah, so now is the time for you to ask. And if you have no questions, again, I thank you so much for joining us this evening for our volunteer orientation. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful volunteer experience here at REP. Again, thank you so much for coming. Bye.